So what's the reaction? What did you guys think first when you heard about the Golden Tate news?
Not surprised. I can't do this.
You're going to leave that?
I'm shocked it lasted this long.
I hope it didn't mess up my hair.
You look better with the mask on.
No, just all right. Good
like...
start. Good start. No, I'm not. I mean, is anybody surprised Howie Roseman made a deal?
No.
I mean, no. I mean,
not.
They have to beg him to sit on his hands not to make a deal. And I think Golden Tate, I mean, they were looking around at Demaryius Thomas. I think he is a better player than Demaryius Thomas right now. He is a tremendous player, and this is something that they've struggled with on third down. And they were really good on third down last year. I think 8th in the NFL, struggling in that spot. And he's the type of guy that can move the chains for you. Adding another guy, maybe Nelson Aguilar, can be used differently in a sense now. I think this is a good move for the Philadelphia Eagles for sure, because you're giving one of the best players in football another weapon.
You say using Nelson Aguilar different in a sense.
I'll talk about that, Colleen.
Go ahead.
Thank you for pointing at.
You didn't even need to jump in.
What they did with Aguilar the last couple of weeks, and it led to some criticism of Doug Peterson, was they were trying to hit him with stuff close to the line of scrimmage and then let him run with the football. Well, that's Golden Tate's specialty, so that's what they're going to ask him to do, and now you can get Aguilar back to doing what he was doing. What we saw him do in that London game, they hit him down the field and used him as a threat more down the field. And so now you've got a complementary piece in Golden Tate who, as I spoke to a general manager a couple of days ago when it was clear he was on the trading block, that he can still do that very well. Now, there's some questions about, can he still do some other stuff very well? Is he a complete wide receiver? A lot of other teams didn't see him that way, but that's okay. He doesn't have to be. He fills a role for the Eagles.
Well, Golden Tate can also get down the field and stretch the field at times because you sit on him assuming that he's just a possession receiver, guy that's going to get the yak, going to get the shorter yardage. But also just remember how he was used when he was with Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson, he can be that RPO guy, extension of the run game, a guy that can go get the tough yards as well. He's a leader, former Super Bowl champion. And let's just talk about the deal itself. You know, the deal is a third-round draft pick for a guy on an expiring contract, but if he's not on the roster in 2020, then they get a compensatory pick, which is a third round. So it's kind of like no harm, no foul. So I think it's a win-win. I wish they would have got out and got some type of physical running back, because I feel like that's going to come back and be their Achilles heel. Last year they went and got Jay Ajayi, had Blunt, before a guy that can move the chains where you have to salt the game away, you know, in November and December when you got to get the tough yards. They still don't have that guy on the roster.
The Eagles are very conscious about the comp pick formula, and the NFL keeps that very secretive. So what they did was they structured their deals in the spring to help themselves with the compensatory pick formula. So they think that they've got some extra picks coming their way in the spring because of the way that they worked. It said, you know what, we'll give up a third-round pick right now. Like you said, could come back to them in 2020. Let's do this now. Let's use that capital that we are earned ourselves going forward.
And understand, like, who cares right now? They can be active. They can put their foot on the gas because they don't have to pay their quarterback. When you do that, it gives you the luxury to, being within that window. As soon as they play Carson Wentz, they're going to have to be less aggressive and really win through the draft.
Yeah, Golden Tate, he's one of the best slot receivers in the league. So you're getting that. You're getting a guy who's so great with yak, and then he can help Golden Tate, or he can help Carson Wentz, as you said, going down the field. Right now, he's averaging about 9 yards per catch. That's a career low for him. So we're not seeing those explosive plays like we did last year. I think the ripple effects of this trade is, we'll see more of that now.
We looked so much about what they were going to do from a running back standpoint. Sometimes you don't have to go with the square peg for the square hole. You can put the round peg. There's a different way of doing it because a lot of teams the Bills wanted a lot of compensation for LaShawn McCoy. So let's find a different way to add a piece that can maybe help us.
He's an angry little.
And it's going to be different, too, because it's going to be different for what Doug Peterson, this offense, has to do. Because he works in a similar area as Zach Ertz. And now you got to see what Doug can do in moving things around and who's going to play where. And if anybody, what he showed last year in terms of creativity, he's going to find a way to make these pieces fit.
Well, you got routes, and also he's an angry little guy. He's a tempo setter. He's like a Steve Smith.
He's perfect for Philly.
He's like a angry Steve elf. Sorry, wrong holiday.
He's a Steve Smith little clone, So he comes in, he's fight. He has that chip on his shoulder coming from Notre Dame, not really being highly touted. He wants his respect. He's a guy that can set the tone for your offense.
He's
won't
feisty,
fit in Philly
he's
at
physical.
All,
I know, right?
Fit in with this city.
So him and Alshon Jeffrey, they should make a pretty good receiving duo.